chilling at the head of the table where the bosses sit, stunning everything in sight, whether it's in the bloodline or corporate. Walk me out, they laid a big smile, no handcuff by officers. Hold on, wait, I think they lost the script, we got some shooters. Pow, it's off the hip.
Y'all heard what it is, man. It's off the hip. Got my brother Snake Eyes. My brother Razor in the building. Let's go with y'all, man.
Fresh in the mail just time for SummerSlam. It has finally arrived.
Wow.
Let's get it. Oh, wait.
Fire, my brother. We are here. Salute to y'all, brothers. Glad to be here. What's up?
Yes, sir. My man got the Wire 6 shirt on. Off the rip. Off the hip. Come on.
I got some for SmackDown. Just wait.
I'm not gonna lie. Tonight's episode of Raw before SummerSlam, the go home show for Raw leading into SummerSlam was definitely fire for me. Just to lead into it, man. We got Seth Rollins coming out.
Is this the confirmed referee attire? That's all I want to know.
He better not wear this shit again. Because if this was what he was going to wear, he should have saved this shit. You heard?
I hope it's not what he wears. It might be an iteration of what he wears, right? We might see a short sleeve, short leg version of this. I was not in favor of what we seen tonight. This is not your traditional referee gear. But
it's Seth freaking Rollins.
It's Seth freaking
Who
Rollins.
else?
He is a visionary. He is a illusionary. So, you know, that's that.
Formerly the Monday Night Messiah.
How y'all feel? He came out. He laid the lay of the land out for everybody. He said, if you touch me, the match is off. If you touch me, the match is off. And before all of this dancing around, we still didn't get to the rules and regulations of the match.
We kind of did. A little bit.
It just stretching the moment, stretching that first 15, right?
Shit, the 30.
30? Jesus, man, that's crazy. But the sent home message is Seth Rollins is going to be the referee that calls it how he wants it to be called. How you feel about that? He's not calling it down the middle. He says if you tap out, you're going to tap out when I say you tap out.
Referee's discretion. AEW's favorite tagline.
It ain't even been fucking. How long we been streaming?
It ain't even been 13 seconds. It got AEW drop.
3 minutes.
It wouldn't be.
Throw the grenade out there real quick.
3 fucking minutes, Razor.
Gotta get that grenade out the way. Get the blood boiling.
Now, I will say this, though, man. The suspense is built through the roof. I'm very, very much anticipating this match. I cannot wait to see it. I think it's amazing, man. Drew, CM, Seth, y'all sold. Y'all sold it. I'm here. I'm ready.
Is Drew the best promo in the game right now? Realistically? I think so.
I mean, in ring promo, I've really been enjoying what
in the ring, out the ring. Just with the gift of gab right now, is he that number one guy? I think he's got a pretty damn good argument.
He's become a real clever. He's become a real clever guy. I say that. Like his one-liners, his wittiness, he combats people very well. Yeah, his confidence is out the roof right now. So I ain't gonna lie, he's up there right now. As far as the best, I don't know, but he can make a compelling argument. I'm looking forward to their match right there. I'm not gonna lie. I think CM Punk gonna win that match, especially with the yeah. Go ahead, get into it, Razor. Come on, get into it, Razor. Come on.
The reason why he's the best promo is because I don't know how you guys feel, but to me, we haven't seen a big fight feel like this, arguably since Roman and Brock. We haven't seen anything of this magnitude since then. So we are in for a treat.
I can see that.
I mean, again, what else could you say? What present day will have or could even rival that big fight feel? Maybe Liv and Rhea, maybe. Eh.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. So we was talking about this over there. I was with bro. So let's say the main event SummerSlam. What would be your co-main event? Like the main event would be Cody and Solo. What would be your co-main event? Would you have Drew and Seth, or would you have Rhea and Liv? Or would you have
I
one of
would,
those shows start the show, start the PLE?
I wouldn't be mad if Liv and Rhea start the show.
That's what I
That's what
said.
H. That's
Yeah.
what H said.
Again, let's take this party out with all the heat. We going full send.
Right. Hold on, fella. Let me just go get my shit. I mean, I'll be right back.
Yep.
You good?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good way to start the show right there with Rhea and Liv, and especially the way that we're like fresh off. These are the two top storylines to me, right? Like you got the bloodline, Cody Rhodes, what's going on with Solo. He's been mentioning Roman Reigns, and then on the flip side on Raw, you got either you could look at it like Damian Priest and Gunther's the top storyline, or you could look at it like Rhea Ripley, Dom, and Liv. I wouldn't be mad if they start the show. You need something that's gonna bring us to that excitement level, and I think that's a good way to start the pace off for the night right there.
No
Yeah, I agree with
disrespect.
you.
I feel like Gunter and Priest is probably like the now nothing is that because they've gotten better at it, but it's probably like in your front the third or maybe in the fifth story right now they got going on. And again, it says no nothing against them. It's just that's just a testament to how everything else has been ramping up these last few weeks.
Yeah.
Damian Priest definitely been looking like he could stand his own out there though. So I've been glad with that little inclusion.
Let
You know
me
what I'm
ask
saying?
y'all, did y'all get what y'all expected from Seth's rollout in the show? Like, or was y'all expecting maybe some implications for the match, or you know?
If I'm gonna be real, this is why I'm gonna be real. I feel like Seth Rollins is being wasted. Yes, this is gonna lead into the CM Punk shit, but again, why'd y'all bring him back so fast just to lose to Damian Priest? To further the Damian Priest, what I said before, is gonna make him look strong. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, what we really rushing back Seth Rollins for?
Let me ask you a question though. Can you really lose showing him though? You can't lose
That's what I
showing
was also making an
him. You
argument
know what
too,
I'm saying?
that people want to see him.
Right, right.
Now, do they want to see him per se, or do they want to pick up where him and Punk left off around Christmas time going into the Rumble?
A little bit of both. I think people like you remove that Punk situation, people were hype when he fucking his music played and he just showed up to challenge Damian Priest.
Mm-hmm.
People wanted to see the guy.
Well, again, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Mm-hmm. So now that we at where we at now, I feel like it's kind of like what I'm leading to is Seth Rollins is going to indirectly either help or screw over CM Punk. But either way, CM Punk's not going to be happy with the results leading into their. That's what's going to lead into their match.
Well, we get into the in ring, you know, conversation they was trying to have because everybody was talking over each other to make points in there. But
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk made it firmly known. I don't need your fucking help. Don't. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need your help. Don't look to help me. You know what I mean? He let that be known. I will say that. CM Punk let that be known. But
And
I
that's
do
where
feel like, as far as when you talking about, as far as Seth being misused, I do feel like when we get to where we ultimately going to get, which is Seth and CM, I think it's going to be worth it. Like, you
like
cannot rush everything. Sometimes, let's get there. You know what I
we
mean?
really talking about Seth Rollins being a special referee.
What's wrong with it?
I haven't seen a real good situation like this in a while. So like
I
I feel
told you,
like he's
whatever
gonna
they
make
put in WWE 2K is coming to life. I told you this. They
man.
didn't add that. you know, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But again, that was kind of my biggest hurt too. Because like, what was wrong with maybe having him like a special guest enforcer instead of a special guest referee? Because if it's special, referee, you're already telling us there's gonna be some bullshit. If he's an enforcer, it's like, all right, is he gonna butt out? Is there going to be HD's ref bump spot? Like, whoa, it leaves more for the mind to just go in circles and figure out what's going on.
Or even so, right? CM Punk and Drew have their first fight, and then the referee shit happens where Drew starts attacking referees. Then it makes sense why you gotta, like you said, a special enforcer. But because he attacked them on a post show when they just like they wasn't, it wasn't even no match going on, bro. They the first people in sight trying to just stop him from acting up on TV. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a little bit of a stretch.
I'm gonna be real. This is another case of I hate you guys on social media, and you guys know who you are, and if the shoe fits, wear it. Because once we seen Seth run out, I was like, "Oh, the rumors are true." I didn't need to know this was fucking rumors, man. Wish we just came out and he just announced he was a special referee. Y'all took away this fucking from it, in my opinion. You did. So now this shit look like it's like just we're going through the motions when
It kind of felt
like
troll.
that. It should feel like at the end of the day, I know we're gonna get to that Seth and Punk shit, but right now it's some CM and Drew static, and Seth is involved. Like, there's something wrong with that to me. But I think the fucking social media is ruining this shit. It ruins shit, man.
It's like we went and going for a steak dinner, and then with the inclusion of Seth and the Drew and Punk, said, "Oh, we just switched up to some surf and turf."
Right. I mean, even with like Snake Eyes is saying, I feel like a part of me when I seen Seth Rollins come out tonight, I felt like, oh, he's playing into what people are saying online. What is he gonna wear? So he came out and like, I'm gonna make y'all think that this is what I'm gonna wear. Like, playing into the, and again, it's sort of rumor stuff. Like, but I don't know. You got to charge it to the game, right? Like.
One thing that I do like appreciate is you letting us know that no other referee wanted to be in between these two. Like that's what sells me on you being there. Like I get that. You know what I mean? Like so I'm glad that they keep throwing that out there. Like he let that be known. Like nobody wanted to work with y'all. Nobody wanted to rep this shit. If I don't do this shit
Y'all are a liability.
Yeah, like so I like that.
Also, what I like though about what CM Punk had to say in his promo, he was basically letting Drew know, like, your biggest moment is me.
Oh, that was a drop mic moment. He smoked him with that. That was a haymaker.
Pipe bomb.
Yeah, that was a haymaker, bro. Yeah.
You won the world title at WrestleMania, but I'm still your biggest moment.
You had to rub it in my face. You could have went home with your wifey, go party the night away, and that would have been it. But no.
Yo, Drew ain't have no comeback but what he did. And like the fact that they can't lay a finger on each other right now, bro, was the tension through the roof, bro, when he brought out that bracelet, bro.
Right.
Bro, CM Punk wanted to fucking ruin it all, but
CM Punk named all the things he had. Drew McIntyre, what do you have?
I got this.
Yo, and it like CM Punk forgot about that shit for that one moment, didn't he?
Right.
Like
he did.
Right.
You mentioned it too. I gotta give Snake his spot. He like, what if Drew pulled that? Like he said it probably like when they started coming out to the ring. What if Drew pulled that bracelet out? I just stood quiet, like,
because he wasn't rocking it last week.
Right. I will say this though. I love the seriousness of CM Punk. It's like the itch to get his hands on him. It's like I can't wait for this match, bro. This could be. I hope this match ends up one of the greatest matches in WWE history. I need this to be in that category. Like we need these to start ending up in these, like.
And that's why I think CM Punk
deserves that. It deserves that, man.
That's why it's hard for me. Facts, Snakes. It's hard for me to think that CM Punk is going to lose when Drew McIntyre is taunting this man's family, and everything that CM Punk has did was out of the fact that I've been taunted by this man, bro. I eliminated you out the Royal Rumble. I couldn't throw Cody out because I was injured. Yeah, like, and you happy because I got a taunt, but I threw you out anyway.
I prayed for you to get hurt.
Word. All right.
And Punk comes in with, I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress.
Yeah, it was reciprocal. It was basically in that form. In other words, and like, yo, we touched on this shit. Like CM Punk, everything we was saying, he really said it in that promo right there, bro. Like, nigga, you coming at me as your career moment. Like, you coming in my direction and being, nigga, this is my square, nigga. This is my world you're in. Like, I love that. I love CM Punk letting him know that shit, bro.
But even Seth was saying it too. It's like, yes, you and I both hate Punk, but me and Punk equally hate you as well.
Yeah, Drew tried to have his little moment talking to Seth, like, man, we don't have any, like we're competitors, and like in that sense, like
We were
we don't
here when
really
he was
need
gone.
yeah, yeah,
A party wanted Punk to throw in, yeah, well, I was gone. You were fired twice.
yeah. Another part was funny when CM Punk
Give me one
I
second,
mean
y'all.
now you Gucci, I thought another part that was real funny when Seth let it be known like none of them could touch him, and then CM Punk left the ring like, oh shit. CM Punk
He's
probably
like,
wanted
I
to
can't do shit now. All right, boys. I'm gonna go kick with Pat McAfee. I'm gonna be here where I can control myself. I'm kicking with the boys. I'm still
right,
listening, but I'm gonna be over here minding my own business.
right, right, yeah. I'm figuring out what I'm gonna do to y'all like Saturday. Like I'm getting my plan together now. Like, but let me ask you this, man. With Seth being in the middle, like, what do you expect for real, man, from this match, man?
With the way Seth was talking, at first, a part of me thought we were gonna lead into maybe a last man standing or some random already stipulation, but
Right.
I can't help but think back to Bret Hart versus Undertaker, where Shawn Michaels as a special guest referee,
Okay.
and that fans after back in the day. Seth Rollins fulfilling the role of Shawn Michaels, being that flamboyant referee, brings out the chair, aims for one dude, hits the other dude, and whether that's Punk that gets hit or who that gets hit, whoever doesn't get hit is going to stare down and says, "You better count right now." And very reluctantly, we get a slow 1, 2. We get a quick "fuck you" before we get a 3. Because you're
Oh
gonna see
man.
the tension like, damn it, anyway
So
but this.
so you think if it comes down to who Seth will fuck over, it would be CM Punk ultimately, for sure.
It's gonna come up. I mean, it likely could be, but it's gonna come up in like the most random time in the most accidental way possible.
Right. Okay. I don't
And
want to
then
see it
the,
coming. I don't. I don't want to
no,
see it.
no, but that's kind of the beauty with this blood feud because it's like there's so much animosity that's gonna be in that ring to where it
Right.
could be the opening bell, it could be 20, 30 minutes down the line, it could come literally from, as Randy Orton would say, out of nowhere.
Would you be upset if this kicked off SummerSlam? Because I'm thinking about like the timing of the match. I expect this match to be lengthy. I expect this match to have some, you know what I mean? Like I expect them to go 25, 30 minutes, man. You
Yeah,
know?
it's got to
You
go some
gotta
time.
like
Again,
all the tension
it
built
could
up.
start as
Come on
well.
now. Yeah, all this tension built up. We're expecting a brawl. I want to see blood, Razor. I want to see somebody bleed.
Shit, we might see all three of them bleed if they ain't careful.
Yeah, I want to see some blood, man. But I thought that
But
was a
again,
dope the segment though.
yeah, we knew it was going to be money, and again, I won't say it didn't disappoint because it didn't disappoint, but like to me personally, it eliminated any fear I had in this matchup when they announced it a couple weeks back. Like, all right, all of it lines up perfectly. I am now fully 1,000% on board with this matchup now.
So without it being like a quote unquote like stipulation, you're good with that. Like it's
As of
no
yeah,
4 counts anywhere, no disqualification. Like it just being a straight up fade. That you good with that?
it's good. It's going to be a fade. Seth might try some bullshit, but at the same time, he's probably going to, with him inching
Allow
back in his
certain
Armageddon
tactics.
days, he's gonna be like,
Right.
I'm gonna adjust this just that way when it's my turn to run the state, y'all gonna be easy pickings.
Yeah.
because he's probably looking at it like Drew already beat Drew, but if Drew beats the shit out of you, when I beat you, you're gonna be a broken man.
Man, I'll say this, man. I think I'm gonna go with Drew for this part one. I think I'm gonna go with
I
Drew
feel
because
like it has to be Drew.
I think I'm gonna go with Drew, man.
Because it almost has to be Drew because again, if Punk wins, and it's like again, it goes back to my initial concern is like all this is to build up Seth versus Punk. Drew's
Right.
been busting his ass through all of this. The man is yearning for his redemption. He's yearning for his vindication. Like he physically needs this. I mean, yeah, Punk get his bracelet back at the end, whatever, on some afterbirth bullshit. But or even maybe not. Drew could probably rip it up in that match for all we know.
Do you think that it's going to be some dirty tactics in this match, some dirty shit going on? Like, is it going to be
1000%.
real in there? Like,
Like I said, it's going to be a straight up fade, and like well, golden rule, there's no such thing as a fair fight.
right,
It's
man.
gonna be as ugly as physically possible.
As if this shit didn't need any more anticipation. Just that whole moment of him putting that bracelet out and CM Punk furious and can't lay a finger.
He saw red.
Yo, man, Saturday can't come quick enough, man. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. Special guest referee Seth fucking Rollins. This is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be crazy, man. While we waiting on the host with the most to get back. That was
No,
an amazing opening segment. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie.
uh, but real quick, back to the back and forth sessions with Tim. We know that Seth and Punk kind of got the majority of the wisecracks.
Hmm.
Um, again, a part of me feels like I want to say Seth is going to be the defender of Rogue. If it does, it's going to be some. It's going to come off as accidental, but yeah, that's it. It's going to be ugly.
Is somebody getting curb stomped?
We could see a curb stomp. I can see a world in which Punk is a bloody mess. Drew comes running 100 miles an hour, level set with a claymore. I can
Yeah,
imagine all kinds of shit.
yeah. This got the makings to be one of the great matches of late. You know what I mean? This feud is one of the best I've seen. One of the best going right now. Clearly, you know what I mean. So
And,
Saturday
and,
can't get hit quick
and,
enough for this one.
and like I said, this has been brewing literally all year.
Yeah, facts. And just to add context, CM Punk has not wrestled. He has not in the ring wrestled in some time. So this is
Since
going to
the
be
Rumble.
right since the Rumble. Like ring rust is a real thing, y'all would say, right?
Hmm.
Yep.
So Drew's been in there, man, getting active. He ain't about to play with you. That's why I asked you to get rid of it. Drew really gonna be punching that nigga over there, putting that nigga
Shit's gonna get ugly.
like,
Like I said, as a 6'5",
yeah,
290-pound Scottish psychopath.
yeah. You want to come back, right, CM Punk? Do you think you ready for this shit? Yeah, we gonna find out. We gonna find out.
How'd y'all feel about that overall segment to start the show? Y'all thought it was fire?
Out of 5 stars,
Nine
like
nine
4.
9.5 out of 10, or nine point
Yeah,
five and a half out of 10. I don't know what
yeah.
could have made it a full like 10 out of 10, but it's pretty damn close.
Just us not knowing that Steph was the referee would have made it a 10.
Yeah. Like I
Like if
said,
I didn't know,
Adam Pierce could have announced, oh, by the way, there's a special guest enforcer. Then we get
right? Like
sexy
what if
music.
you did it this week instead of last week? Because niggas thought it was going to and fake niggas, and then did it this week, announced it. That would have been fire.
They could have drawn it up.
Yeah,
They could have had another segment last week where like CM Punk and Drew knocking out Enforcer, so it's not just one side.
Mhm. So here's my question, real quick: does Wade Barrett play a role in this?
Nah.
Wade
Because
Barrett.
he's been the only person to physically hold Drew back when Drew's gotten physical with Adam Pearce, when he's gotten physical with the referees, and especially when he's gotten physical with Nick Aldis.
If Wade Barrett didn't want to get his ass whipped, he should stay where he at.
Wade Barrett's a big son of a bitch too. Again, that we could be having a little secret alliance forming, maybe.
I just want to say, not to cut you off,
I don't
my bad.
see it.
Did y'all see this picture of Finn Balor's chest after this match with Gunter going around?
How bad is it?
Oh my god!
This is where I'm gonna pull a razor.
Uh-oh.
They just did this on AEW, so I don't know if WWE is trying to recreate, but I know Gunther is known for that. But I know Pat McAfee tried to say something on commentary about, oh, these chops will make them bleed. That's good for television. So I don't know. The match I'm referring to is with Minoru Suzuki.
Oh my god!
When Suzuki chopped Jericho.
Yeah, but Gunther has been known to make folks
Yeah, put
chest
that on the
bleed.
screen for them HDs. So niggas see what we talking. Look at these chops from Gunther. Are you kidding me? That's internal blood.
We getting it up there right now. We getting the works. I had to send it over to myself.
Yeah,
He chopped. Yeah, I got it right now. Put it up.
Damian Priest. I ain't gonna lie, Damian Priest. Man, I know we gonna get there, but he been beating Gunter ass. Like I ain't gonna lie to you. Gunter, you can't stand and throw the hands with Damian. You ain't ready for that.
Or I think on the contrary, Gunther realized, okay, I do got to throw hands with him. He ain't gonna be no pushover.
Right. I say Damian's been getting the better of him in these little joints. I'll say
Especially
that.
recently.
Yeah, as of late.
He has though.
Well, I think it adds to the thing HD was saying about seriousness with Damian right now. Yeah, this is ridiculous. Like,
And that's one of those. That's an average Gunther match. You're gonna walk away fucked up.
yeah, this is average
I mean, those,
Monday.
yeah, I think in the first match when Gunther wrestled Ilya, I swear to God, I thought Ilya lost a nipple because his chest is so beat up.
What would it take for the United States Championship to be like revered? Because I feel like when I look at Damian Priest, the reason he getting this spotlight right now is because when he had the United States belt, he did what he could with that. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And Gunther did the absolute most he could do with the IC belt. Like you can't ask for no more with that. I feel like the United States belt is the one belt that's hard to elevate.
Well, they kind of pigeonhole themselves because anytime they win the belt, they always got to bring up the John Cena Invitational. That's the past. I'm sorry. That had his thing. Let someone else make it their own. Yeah, Logan Paul has put more eyes on it with his social media platform, but you're not really doing anything. I'm sorry, Logan. Yeah, Logan Paul, as far as followers or whatever, you can't put him up there with the Roman, Cena, Brock, whatever. But as far as in ring star power, it's two different things.
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll sell the match just as itself without the United States Championship. Like to do what Gunther did, to even do what there's only been 3 champions since that belt has been made. Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and Damian Priest.
And remind the viewers why the belt was made in the first place.
Because Roman Reigns had the WWE World Heavyweight Universal Undisputed Championship under a stranglehold. But now look, I say this. That was the workhorse championship. Is Damian Priest living up to like a workhorse champion? I mean,
Are
I
they
feel
giving
like he
him an
has.
opportunity? They've
He
definitely
ain't been
bagged on
ducking
the corner,
smoke.
but yeah, that's what they're getting. Like he's definitely had to earn everything that he's gotten, but as far as the workhorse thing, should he retain against Gunther and maybe even beat Seth a second time, then we could probably open that discussion up more thoroughly.
I like that. I like that idea. I do.
Because, like I said, this is hands down going to be his biggest test. This is going to be a solid benchmark. He's already proven that on the mic he can hold his own. He most definitely can match the physicality. It's just, do the powers that be see that in him? Do they feel like his name is worthy enough to make him the fourth person that Gunter's taken a loss to? Could that be a money feud down the road potentially?
That promo he put together today was exceptional. That was exceptional. I was telling HD that like ever since he started saying, I mean, what niggas are possibly trying to do with Damian Priest is involved in something even that bigger than I thought. Like he to me, bro, he like at first I didn't see like what they were trying to do with him, but nah, bro, he's cemented himself as a certified champion. Y'all see what the picture I got today. All rise. This shit different. Stop playing with
And
him.
the
He's nothing to play
campeón.
with. BX. Big New York. Stop playing with my man. Gunter. You play around, you're gonna get flatlined. That's just what it is. Like, Damien stepped this shit up. Big time. All I want to see him at is, can you bring that Razor Ramon tribute back when you come out, please? Can you just do that Chico shit real quick? You know what I'm talking about.
That's
All I
another
want.
thing too. In all fairness, outside of whatever he did outside WWE, maybe in NXT UK, he stood tallest with his Imperium brothers.
Uh-huh.
I don't really like. I'm not sold on this Gunther talking in the empty arena before the show starts.
That was scared energy. I ain't never seen Gunter like that. You done went far away from Damien, huh? You scared, nigga?
So on the topic of Imperium, we know Ludwig Kaiser is nursing some broken ribs at the hands of badass Braun Breaker. We ain't seen Giovanni Vinci since he was excommunicated from Imperium. Could he pull up and
Now,
get a lick back maybe?
I mean, just to talk on Kaza, I mean, if Braun Breaker ends up losing at SummerSlam for some reason, I would see Kaza playing him, but Giovanni, it would have to be come back. He got to come back, yo. He got to come back like looking like he could fuck with Gunther. Like it can't just be like
Yeah,
a
but
Hey, I
Vinci
put out
wasn't
a
no
theory.
pudgy dude.
What if Kaiser
nah.
cost Gunter the match? What if Kaiser turn on him?
Well, that's what I said. Like to me, Vinci kind of makes more sense because Vinci was damn near excommunicated from the faction because he took some losses.
No, I know about the Giovanni shit, but what if it's Kaiser that causes him the match?
To me, that'd be the equivalent of Jimmy turning on Jay. It's like it's a little out of nowhere.
Kaiser as an individual act, I feel like he feels undervalued. I think he feels
Hmm.
like he deserves to be a champion. And he was showing that before he went down due to the hands of Braun Breaker. He was showing that his promo skills is up to par. You know what I
True.
mean? He's dating Tiffany Stratton, a star. Um, his brother deserves some chance. You know what I
Does
mean?
Braun Breaker need the belt right now?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
Yes. Yes.
beyond a shadow of a doubt.
hmm
okay.
And you were on the money with a call at Money in the Bank about him. You know what I mean?
The SummerSlam moment would be
Yes.
much more.
Yes. His promo today was absolutely phenomenal too. And yeah, I'm looking forward to his crowning this Saturday. Because Sami Zayn, you've been doing a lot. That brother is waiting. He ain't playing with you. And he let it be known. I took a light on you. I didn't even think I was gonna have to work hard to beat you at Money in the Bank. So you kind of got me, and I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
But this
Also,
Saturday though,
remember, Snake, what I said. What is the reverse happening? We seen Sammy so locked in, focused, tunnel vision. Now he's one doing comic show, like kind of like what Braun Breaker said. Doing that's his. And to your point, Snake, you said he's inserting himself in the J. You're handling too much. That's a champion,
right?
Doing too much. When you got this beast lined up right in front of you.
Yeah, Braun said, while you doing comedy shows, I was in the gym. Like,
I'm stacking bodies.
Yeah, why you doing this and that? Like he's locked in on Sammy. Sammy, you know, helping out Jay. You know what I mean? You know, he's fighting every week, shit like that. So, you know, and he has to fight this Saturday. Braun didn't fight this week. Braun will be ready, and that's going to be a great match. That's also going to be another great match. I could see that opening in the show too. Let's get that going out the gate. Braun and Sammy.
Now I wouldn't be mad at that because now here, wow, let me plant some seeds, right? Jay ain't got nothing going on from what we know, right? Jay ain't got nothing going on. Pardon me if I sounded a little far. Jay ain't got nothing going on as far as SummerSlam, right?
Nope.
Are you going where I think you're going with this?
You know damn well where I'm going with this main event.
Damn it.
Let's hear it. Come on now. Let's hear it.
You know what I'm saying? We got to get something here, man. We got to get Jimmy J. Something. You know what I'm saying? Sami Zayn said it tonight. I'm finally with my oos, my dog.
He did drop that.
He said that. He said, I'm finally.
And once he said that, the more I bought into your guys' theory, it's like I may be over it, but the people obviously have some sort of connection to it still. I'll ride with the majority on this one.
Kind of like what me is. Go ahead, Sage.
Now I was gonna say they put that tester out there to see if niggas was gonna go for it. You know what I mean? They helped out. You know what I mean? And people, I feel like people are buying Sammy being a part of the bloodline, the OG. Like he got to be a part of it. I like that. I fuck with it.
And here's the reason why I kind of buy into that. Jake just damn near killed his best friend last Friday. So he got to get the leg back for his brother Kevin Owens. It's personal to him now, or it's going to become personal to him.
Yeah. But then again, right? Let me say, right? Sammy also said in his promotion, like, you know, kind of like, I see all this. I'm expecting you to be saying all this, and I did a comedy show. If I beat you at Money in the Bank, what's different about this time? You know what I mean? Like Sammy sound confident even with what's going on.
That's the problem. Yeah. Overly confident. Like again, like he's helping Jay. You know what I'm saying? Go through whatever he's going through. He's taking on a lot of tasks. We don't really usually see Sami Zayn this confident. He's usually the underdog. Right. That's his story. He's usually the underdog.
Right.
Fighting.
Yeah, you beat Braun. Yeah, you ended a good historic reign. Now you want to start feeling yourself? Nah.
And again, I think like what you were saying, Razor, like the folks look at Sammy part of the original bloodline because he was there before Solo. He was the honorary Oos.
I was gonna say that's the honorary Oos right there. He earned his cut.
And I do think that this is Sammy's best time in WWE, but also the honorary Oos was his best time in WWE as well.
It brought us Yeet. It brought us feeling Oosy.
You gotta wait from that green hat.
Breaking characters, like you said, Snakes. That was fun to see.
We got the Waffle House bits that Jay has been throwing out to Rhea lately.
that became like a running gimmick. Let's see who we could break this week.
By the way, Rhea, Liv, keep shooting at her
What
and
up, Nick?
telling her she ain't. I said, Rhea look absolutely fantastic.
I'm glad you mentioned that because that's the very next segment after the whole Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre thing. The Judgment Day's clubhouse is completely destroyed.
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Do you have an idea who it was, or you just guessing this?
Oh, we know damn well who did
Okay.
it. But I will throw this caveat in there. Who let her in?
Right.
And why she got to break our lethal PlayStation for? He was stuck on that.
I was having too much fun playing that WWE.
That was kind of like one of the facts I was willing to let slip over because I was like, well, how did she get in there when they always, you know what I mean? They're allegedly supposed to always be in the clubhouse.
Someone's always in there, the kayfabe, but again,
But then again, it's like she's been in there before. She can get in there again, right?
But again, who made her the spare key to that door?
Right.
So many twists and turns. I thought we were going to see a little bit of that this week. I have no problem being paid for another few weeks if needed be for that.
Is this the same segment where Damian Priest just like looked off that nigga Dominic like he was nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I ain't
Well,
catch
there was
that.
a couple segments where he did that though.
Yeah, the way he did it today, Dominic was like he meant nothing. Like you a clown type vibe.
That was the first one. That's when he first came in the room and he looked around. He looked at Dom like, yeah, like I know what it is, bro. Like, and that was just like, yeah, that's what made me feel like again, him and Rhea are on the same pages. They read through their bullshit. You got happy.
They smelling some funny business.
Yeah. Again, Damien, to his credit, he been telling Dom to cut that off. So he can always go back to the footage and say, well, I've been telling you for weeks.
He said that last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I've been telling you cut that off. It's easy. It's easy to do.
Just cut her off and leave it alone.
I will say this though, like right after last week, how Dom did live, people kind of bought in Dom doing that as a way to keep Rhea under the assumption that everything is cool, but he's gonna turn, right? I didn't expect to see Liv. What Liv did today with the burning and all that, the shirt and all that. I didn't expect that. What was your thoughts on that? I didn't expect it.
Well, let's go down the rabbit hole real quick. There's been one other time where we've seen something remotely close to this. And that's Paul Heyman flip-flopping from Roman and Brock. Liv could be trying to put her own little twist on that. Yeah, she's heartbroken that Dom left. She's still gonna take everything from Rhea, and Dom will get the remains. But again, that could be part of her coy to like. Listen, we all think that everything's all kosher with Dom and Rhea when, like you said, Snakes, they're not quite sold yet. Yeah, Rhea has been posting that on internet on Twitter, Instagram. That's her poppy once again, but I don't think it's all rainbows and sunshines just yet.
I would say this: the one thing that I caught on what she was saying, what she said, like you could continue on being her little bitch, right? Type shit. Could it be like a moment in a match where Rhea is like ordering? Like I don't know, like see, I don't know, like Dom comes out.
I was just gonna go down that rabbit hole too.
You know what I'm saying? Like Dom come out and she ordered him like on some sunshine shit. He not with it. Like
Dom will already be out.
Embarrass him, like slap him or some shit. How Roman did Jay and them, like embarrass him or some shit. And he just flipped the switch. I don't know, but
Dom, get me a chair. Dom, get me this. Dom, get me this.
Right.
And the minute he tells mommy no, if that happens, can you imagine Cleveland losing their shit over that?
I was very
territory on your ass last week.
By the way, me and HD was trying to confirm this is gonna be in the Cleveland Brown Stadium, right? Crazy.
Yes.
Oh, this is gonna be fucking insane. This is
Yeah.
gonna be insane. Like this is gonna be
Yeah.
insane. Yo, this is gonna be insane, y'all.
It's going down.
I love them stadium effects, man. Love them stadium. Man, so I didn't expect to see that live shit, you know what I mean? I love some voodoo shit, burning all the pictures, the kiss, everything, shirts, everything. I'm about to make y'all live
Burnt the
live in the past.
picture, burnt the shirt.
That moment fucked my head up because I was like, are they trying to ruin the theory that we have of Finn and her plotting something, or is this part of the ruse to get
Maybe
us to
this the
think like,
okey doke. Yeah, like
yeah,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Yep.
We gonna hit y'all where y'all expected with some shit. You know what I mean? We gonna make y'all
Let's
take
get you off
this.
the set a little bit. Y'all started to catch on a little
Yeah,
too quick.
right. I like that. Do that to us. Yeah, fuck us up. Yeah, do that. I like that.
But if you notice, whose face was on the back of the truck when she was doing all this shit? Dom's.
Dom.
Dom, dirty Dom.
Yep.
And you just see that sad look on the little on the back of the truck trailer, just zooming on them eyes, like
Another
Scarface
thing,
says,
like
"The eyes, Chico, the eyes never lie."
in the early segment when Carlito, when they was trying to figure out how to the problem they were having, and they put up the match with Dom and Sammy. Rhea didn't have no issue with that. And last week when they said Jay, she was like, "What do you like?" You know what I'm saying? She was quick to like, "What do you like?" Oh, Dom can handle Sammy. It's no issue. Dom went in there and got washed. Lost easy. Like that was like why Rhea didn't have no kickback on him fighting Sammy. But
Because again, Jay was supposed to be off limits, like Punk's off limits for Roman. Because again, back in the days, Rhea was the shot caller for the Judgment Day, making them deals with the ones. I'm not gonna say the Bloodline making deals with the ones on some mob shit.
Paul Heyman, yeah, she
So
hung from Paul Heyman.
even Rhea and Roman had sat down, had some couple little powwows and shit. They they had to pay the toll had to be paid both ways. One was running Raw, one was running SmackDown.
That's
Why
right.
else is why else does Priest ever have an issue with Jey Uso? Because again, even Rhea told him, "Hey, and I'm not saying they're an ally, but they're not an enemy either."
In the match with Dom against Sammy, didn't Jay come out?
I think he did towards the end.
Yeah.
Why
I'm not
Rhea and
sure if
none of
the
them came out to help?
mm,
Did that go over my head?
Carlito and JD were there, but Rhea wasn't there.
I think Rhea was waiting to see if Liv was going to pull up.
Hmm.
Because again, she's probably let using Dom as a little trap, set him out there for real quick, see if she's going to be on her funny business. Because that's her only focus right now.
Type shit. I got you.
She got one bullet, one target.
Yeah, Jay cooked on Carlito. Like, apple spear. Like apple spear. Like
Yeah, that was good.
But it's funny how they're still referring to Carlito as a prospect.
Ain't no way.
that's crazy.
Hmm.
That's right.
And Rhea's still going. Why is he here? Who let this like? And no one told Rhea that he's in there because of Dom.
Right. I mean, Damian Priest was about to allude to it, right? But then they never sealed it. He like, you can ask Dom himself,
Yeah.
and then some other shit happened.
Commercial break, perfectly timed,
Yeah.
like a classic movie cliffhanger. It was right then and there.
But after that backstage segment, it led into the actual first match of the night. The Creed brothers and Chad Gable versus the Alpha Academy with Maxine Dupree there.
Ooh, Shit got real.
Money.
Get to
Money.
Get to it.
The
I thought
Creed
it was
brothers.
yeah, it was a good
Them
match,
brothers
man.
is explosive, Razor. Them brothers
Fresh
is it.
off of whooping ass in Brooklyn for Bloodsport, as Michael Cole alluded to. Both of them won by TKO, mind you, with similar moves. Deadlift
Yeah,
suplex into a diving clothesline. Bam!
I like them brothers. Well, they was going against Cesaro and Otis, man. Which I thought about Otis with the free Otis shirt today.
I got that shirt in the closet as we speak.
I'm crying.
But again, how about Tozawa again? Another shot to shine. He's putting in work. He's probably underweight by everyone by at least 150 pounds, but he's doing his thing, holding his own. But again, my concern with this is similar to my concerns with the special guest ref match. It's like Alpha Academy or one of them is just cannon fodder for what we got after the match. The shit really people really talking about.
Yo, did you kind of like get the sense of what was gonna happen when the match, like while the match was going on? It looked
Yeah,
like the Wyatt aura of
that's almost what ruined the match for me because the match was really good.
right.
Yeah, but the ending wasn't good for me because you just see Tozawa looking like he could have made a save and then he didn't. I don't
Oh
know if that
yeah,
was bad
great pointed
camera
out.
work.
That was terrible. That was
Yeah.
crazy. That was very glaring. Like he looked like he was stuck in the same spot for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, just watching like no, I can't believe he's gonna pin him. Like I don't know if that was
Right.
bad camera work or there was a missed spot right there. Like Snakes
Yeah,
even mentioned, was Gabe was supposed to grab his leg there? Like something could have happened there, but it
like
just didn't.
they panned to the wrong camera angle during the pinfall or something.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we was AZ mentioned something about I don't know if these cameramen were high today or sci-fi, but cameraman was a little off, huh?
Yeah, the camera work. Yeah, the camera work. It was definitely funny how they were doing things. Right after I mentioned that, they show Pat and Michael Cole over at ringside, and you see one of the production crew just look towards the camera, like you know what I'm saying. It was fun,
Like
but
my
they
bad.
don't stop them. Yeah, like my bad. Like the second match of the night. Hold on. Before we get into that, Carlito had a conversation with Adam Pearce. It's official. Dominic will take on Sami Zayn. Dominic said that Carlito was supposed to
That
handle
wasn't the plan.
Sammy. Right.
Yeah, it's supposed to be you versus him, brother.
So
Fuck
then he
you doing?
suggests that Carlito should fight Jey Uso. I thought
Mhm.
Jey Uso was off limits, but now because it's vindictive, it's like fuck it, right? Like he's expendable. He's not. We don't know if he's really bloodline. So let's.
I was gonna say, Carlito, that's a prospect. He wants to do all this shit without consulting mommy or whatever. We had a plan. You were given your orders. You did the opposite. All right, you go
But
face the consequences.
let me make this argument. If Liv would have put Dom against Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship, there'd have been no problem. Carlito by accident put him in a spot with a champion. And actually, I thought Dom looked good in that match.
He did.
But to your point earlier, I mean, Liv impromptu got JD and Finn to shot the tag titles.
Right, as to where she got Dom nothing but trouble.
Yep.
You got Diamond win versus that. What do you
Okay, and
mean? That was
like
something
we
that he
said,
wanted. That meant more than a belt.
And that's even telling of itself, right? A female getting in between family bit. Now, Rhea Ripley did the same thing. But that's the
Yeah,
dice
she was
that
violating
Dom.
his dad the whole time, worse than Liv ever did.
Yeah, they were showing up at Thanksgivings and all of that.
Yeah, the Hall of Fame ceremony. Are you kidding me?
you got him locked up. That's it.
But that's what made Dom dumb. Dirty Dom.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
That
Most
win, I
definitely.
feel like I be forgetting that wouldn't even happen with Dom and Ray. On the Raw?
Can't forget that, man. Frog splash. Like,
Well,
frog
it's because
what you mean? Like,
we just remember Dom giving her a hug for that first time. That's all we remember.
Right.
yeah, and they was almost about to
That's
fucking do Pornhub live on TV, but Rhea came back. Real
Now,
shit.
spicy
again,
moments.
how crazy it would have been like if they actually logged listen as they're kissing, then Rhea's music drops. That's it. Dom might have legit pissed himself.
I give it to all of them. Like they all know how to be for the moment. You know what I'm saying? Everybody being professionals. That's
Fact.
definitely a stiff meister moment. You know what I'm saying? Like
Stiff
ain't no way.
Meister.
Like you know what I'm saying? The
That and the
meister, like
massage. Yeah.
the like those are moments that's like, come on, man. Like you gotta be really a real professional to say, like, come on.
You
And the
wasn't around.
parameters, yeah, like come on.
There's a
But shout
fine
out to
young
them for
lady
doing that
touching
work.
me near a place where, but
Shit, have you seen his wife?
or Dom's wife?
Yeah, she's
Nah,
stupid
I
bad
haven't.
too.
Yeah, I haven't. I don't think I want to
Shout out
see
to Dom
his wife.
Dom.
Yeah, I don't think I want to see it. She don't matter.
That's fucked up.
No, like
I know. I
when
know
we,
the
We don't, yeah,
story.
like we don't know her. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
I don't want to know her. Rhea's his wife. Like I don't like.
Nah,
You feel me, right there? Come on.
that's his mommy right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they killed the mystique. It killed everything. Yo, after that backstage segment, we get into the second match. We got Sheamus versus Bronson Reed.
So hold on. So we're gonna just
Yeah, you
skip
skipped the
the
wire
stuff.
shit. Yeah, you skipped the wire shit,
Yeah.
gang.
Oh, that's facts. After they came out for the gate, yeah. Let's get into that. Let's get into that right quick, man. What y'all felt about that?
Well, we was up to the part where Maxine basically, stood her ground, slapped Gable.
Slap the shit out of him.
He slapped him, and then we see Shot the Razor, new Y6 merch. Go get it now, WWE.com.
It's selling
And
like
then
hotcakes. I ordered
I
this
need
bitch
more.
almost 2 months ago.
I'm gonna say it now. Snake Out said we might get it next week, but I need more than just a piano. Don't walk into
When
the ring
the
with
new,
no
yeah, the
song.
actual theme, the actual song,
Yeah, the actual
actual.
theme, bro. Like I need something past the piano, bro. Like
Yeah, I think Monday we get that at the SummerSlam. We get through this big night, and then boom, we into the next shit. You know what I mean?
So on the topic of the song, would you guys be mad if it's like a darker remix version of a Wyatt family song or something similar?
nah, what was the shit that Bray was using after the piano shit?
Uh, the song
They
by
could
Orange Crush, something like that.
like
The
why they
Shatter.
could yeah, if they could do something like along those lines, I wouldn't even be mad at that.
I
I just
think
feel
this
like
week is going to be a lot of like sided because I think like they know this is an important part too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it's
Presentation,
massive.
their first actual match on Raw, and it's not Uncle Howdy. It's the game. So it's like I know he wants
It's
them to
Derek
look
Rowan. It's
amazing.
Dexter
Yeah, like
Loomis.
yeah, this is gonna be
Luke
big, bro.
Gacy.
It's gonna be a big spot for them brothers' careers, man.
how
That
y'all felt about their overall debut, seeing them three. I felt like I didn't think Eric Rowan was gonna tower over them the way he did, to be honest.
Oh,
Like he
that's a
looked
big fight. I
fucking
didn't think Loomis was that small.
right. That's what I was telling Snake. So I was like Loomis looked a little bit smaller to me that I'm accustomed to, but Joe Gacy sold it to me though.
yeah,
I
I,
think he
Gacy.
I,
looks
I, I,
phenomenal.
I was more sold by what Loomis was doing because again, I didn't think.
Hmm.
Now, granted, we saw very little of him in NXT. I didn't think he was that athletic, to be honest, to take that pop up power bomb. And then like we saw the stereo Uranagi's a la Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, seeing him in a different format is like, and I love like you said, at some point we had to get to them revealing themselves so we could get to the actual in ring shit. So
And
They
I think
meant
this was
business walking to the ring today. They meant like business when they was walking to the ring, like it was going down.
now the challenge is what do we have any level of expectations out of them next week? Because obviously they can't eat the loss on the debut. I get that part, but it's like how are we gonna have them look strong and dominant without the supernatural aspects of it all? Because now we're gonna get into the meat and potatoes of is this truly its own thing, or are we gonna fall right back down the hole of the sour taste that was the fiend?
All right, let me ask you a question. So, how long do you want them to continue on with this, with the actual mystique? Because at some point they had to, you want to see them wrestle. They have to reveal themselves and be who they are. You know what I mean? Like, I think it
Did we
was
get a
good
VHS
seeing.
this week?
Yeah, we did. It was
Okay,
Dexter.
well, that's right. Yeah,
It was
that's right.
Mercy.
That's right. Yeah.
It was
So,
Mercy.
so as far as the videos, we've gotten the video for Uncle Howdy. We've got one for Rowan. We've got one for Loomis. We've got one for
Nikki
Cross.
Nikki.
too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we just ain't get Gacy yet.
Yeah. Hmm.
I expect from them to next week ultimately though to scare the shit out of them two niggas. It's gonna be
Because
easy.
if we're getting the Joe Gacy quote unquote origin story, what I personally would like to see is him look at the ghosts of the past almost as like his cult like elders, in which like we touched on in the past, those who were the ones who brought him to this, those who showed him the light, as they often preached about in days past. That's what I would like to see. I'm very interested to see what twist Bo Dallas and whoever is working on this with them are going to put on this, because his Gacy's story, in my opinion, is going to be the most fascinating because of in NXT immediately from Schism, we saw the similarities almost identical to Bray Wyatt.
Let me ask you something, right? I feel like the crowd was a bit quiet when this segment was
I thought,
happening. Do you
I thought they were quiet for most of the show, to be honest.
okay? So it's
I
just
Some of
do
the
I
show
do
just
agree I do agree with you though, HD, like the excitement for when the bells go off from when they first started to like now is like I don't know if it's about a on cue thing. They don't know when it's happening, so they can't like.
the
But
crowd
I
didn't sell this.
okay.
Yeah, I feel
well,
like the
like you said,
crowd helps.
no, because like I said, all we've heard is just that one piano note, nothing else. So
Right.
that could be worn down, maybe, possibly.
I feel like even when they unmasked themselves, there wasn't a big pop. It was like
Yeah, because
okay,
again, thanks to the internet, we already knew who they were.
the,
Okay,
the
so again,
Come
double
on now. Come on now.
the
Come on
double pop
now.
the double
This would have
power
been the
bomb.
moment. Oh, it is Dexter. Oh, that's Dexter. You killed that. Oh,
Right.
that's Joe Casey. You killed that.
You
You
feel me?
killed like you
There you
filled up.
go.
Those are my points. Like shit like that. Man. Come on.
like Rowan, that Rowan might have been the only acceptable one, to be honest. But
And
everyone else being a mystery.
I feel like the talent did nothing wrong, right? But like to your point, the news being out there, we knowing who they are when the unmasking happened. Oh yeah, I
That
knew
one
it was
first
this.
picture.
Yeah, I
Come
knew it
on,
was this
HD.
guy,
That's insane. When you really think about it, now when you really put it, I'm pissed off with the internet. You need to
bro. We
stop this
had the
shit somewhere.
Snakes. You was in my crib. We had the
Yeah,
TV on loud, like the loudest it could go, 100 volume,
right.
no reaction.
We have to stop this shit some way. Like, whoever these fucking sources fade all these niggas, like, stop leaking shit, dog. Like, stop
Elon, you know
leaking
what to do.
shit. Like, you don't understand. Cause that when you just said that, it just made me mad more. It's like when the masking is unveiled. Like, this is the first time they revealing themselves. They're supposed to get a
Yeah,
pop for that. We're supposed to be excited. Oh, they ruined that. So
in
if anybody's
ring.
mad, about this shit feeling away, be mad at niggas fucking spoiling shit. Be mad at them. Because the Wise is doing everything they supposed to do. You got motherfuckers that's killing it for people out there that really, really want to feel that, they killed that today for us, bro. Come on.
And then also, I might be nitpicking, but I feel like just as any WWE audience throughout the years, Eric Rowan hasn't been around for what 7-8 years. You need to show packages.
No.
I mean, what's the last time he lost to The Rock?
I say 2 to 3 years he's
I'll be
been
right
around
back. I'll be right back.
because he
Yep.
had the tag run with Hart Brothers and Bludgeon Brothers. He was brought back sporadically when the Uncle Howdy and the Phoenix stuff first started, and then when Bray passed, he just stuck around and did a couple indie shows here and there.
And
So
even
he's been
then,
around.
no, but I think like what I'm trying to say is you can easily be forgotten with this landscape of WWE audience where
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It could even be a 6-month span, and like you could repackage somebody and people forgot, oh, that was that guy. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
so like when I think they seen even when
Prime
against the
example:
moves,
Chavo
mhm,
Guerrero, FKA Kerwin White, Dolph
right?
Ziggler with the Spirit Squad.
Yep. And people didn't know, right? And it's just like wow. So with these moments right here, I felt like they hit their moves, like you said, the double power bomb. You didn't even think he could hit it, but there was no reaction to it from the crowd. Eric
But
Rowan,
also, I
double.
mean, it looked kind of dark in there too. So again, maybe not everybody saw it because
That's what I was telling Snake. So I'm like, yo, it looked kind of
everyone's
dark.
too busy with their fireflies.
Like there was no react opposed to like when it was really dark, right? And we seen Uncle Howdy hit Gable with the sister Abigail. It was dark as shit, and everybody fucking popped.
Well, and that's the word I feel like they're slowly or not slowly, but they're kind of backed us into a corner because again, everyone's drawing so many comparisons to the Wyatt family, drawing comparisons to the Fiend. Yes, this is a play on Firefly Funhouse. We get all that, but again, it's like folks are nitpicking too much at what went wrong with this previously. It's almost like they're praying that this can happen with this go around when
Yeah, I
it shouldn't
think
be
they
the
need to.
case.
It should to me. It should be treated like what Bo Dallas is. If Bo, I don't know who's older, who's younger, but like if Bo's the younger brother, then it should be treated like little bro. It shouldn't be treated like
Yeah,
oh
both baby of the family.
yeah. So it shouldn't be treated like oh we expected him to be on that Bray Wyatt superstar
But
level.
also with Bo Dallas, thanks to Vince and us being pre-positioned to that, we were accustomed to Bo leave. We were accustomed to the B team, the social outcasts, all the other
So there's
stuff that
like
was
yeah.
designed to fail.
So there's like that bracket of hope, right? And it's not like to like
Well, some have the bracket up, others are going, oh, we seen Bo in the past. We know they ain't gonna do shit with them, and they're just making money off of Bray's death. That's how people are starting to look at it. Which
which
again, not the case. To a
I
degree, I
mean
can see how it could, but again, what they're trying to do is it's almost like the next chapter or the next book of the series.
I hate to say it like this, but WWE wouldn't be the first. We see it with musicians all the time. We see it with actors. Paul Walker passed away. Did they stop Fast and the Furious?
No,
They took his brother CGI the rest of the shit.
when Owen Hart passed, they end the Hart Foundation. No, it kept going.
All these rappers that pass away, they released they
When
without their
when Eddie
consent.
Guerrero when Eddie Guerrero passed, you had Rey Mysterio do the Frost Last Three Amigos. Chavo Guerrero did the same thing. The LWO brought back the intro to Viva la Raza with all of it.
So let's not,
We
let's
can go
not
on and on with all these examples.
right. Like we can't the people can't crucify, especially when WWE say if they're holding true to their word, whatever proceeds we making off merch is going to their family.
And on top of that, it's like at one point in time, everybody takes influence from somebody, whether they're still with us or whether they're no longer with us.
So why
But
not have the
we
direct? Why not have the
we
direct form?
I would say, but when us knowing that stuff is initially in memory, just take it with a good faith. Like, not everything has to be, oh yeah, but this happened here, this happened here. This ain't it. Vince ain't here.
And it gotta be some things that gotta be rewritten in the story, right? Like you said, to do some things good. Y'all don't want that same fiend shit, but y'all gotta work with us to get there. We gotta see what work, what don't work for y'all. Because
We gotta
in all
get you there.
honesty, right? In all honesty, people shitting on the fiend shit. But what if that was Bray's doing? Like, I want this to end like this, and
This
they
was
was
meant to transcend into this.
right, and it just didn't.
Yeah, it didn't, or it never got the chance to.
Because I feel like this too untold when it comes to that story. I feel like Bray had creative control when it came to his character, and then there's other parts where Vince got the ultimate say when it comes to the match and who wins. But
Mhm.
it looked like he was allowed to do whatever the fuck he wanted to do.
Yeah, and I get it. As we saw in the documentary, or as they portrayed in the documentary, he kind of wanted to do more or less the Rob Zombie style of stuff, which some folks like Cornette and other folks may have deemed it outdated, which is fine. But again, with the way WWE's operating nowadays, with them going to Netflix, whatever, you can find a spot for this. I mean, shit, we didn't think the cinematic matches would work in the pandemic, but they worked.
It's how you do it. It's always like you
And
said, how you do it.
in Impact, they didn't think the broken universe was going to work, and it worked.
I think the three biggest moments we got to look at and ask who signed off and whose idea was the Worms Randy Orton WrestleMania match. Remember when they put that
Yeah,
on the floor?
that was bad. That was bad.
Then
I,
you
I
got
had that
the
blocked out of my memory until you brought that up again.
sorry. Then you got the Seth Rollins Hell in a Cell match with him, and then you
With that
also have
fucking big ass hammer.
right. Like, are those Bray creations or was that Vince rolling with the
And then
wacky
you had the stuff with Alexa Bliss, like
and Randy
on that
Orton?
Papa Shango shit.
Yeah, when she popped out when she was rolling the Jack in the Box out for the
Well, no,
Fiend.
yeah, the Jack in the Box, whatever, and then she had bleeding that black shit out of her head.
Yeah, it costed him the match, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that was her turn on him. Was that even when the Fiend got set on fire? Was that Vince doing or the Fiend or like Bray? Rest in peace. But like,
Yeah.
was that who's doing? Because everything it seems that people didn't like from that run came from the same shit that they loved. They loved the Firefly Funhouse stuff, but they didn't enjoy the Fiend stuff.
They loved the lantern with Bray's face on it. They loved the initial Wyatt family with the rocking chair. They loved the Fireflies. We still love the Fireflies today.
Right. But the Fiend, they just revolt. And me personally, at that time, I had no problem with. I was like, okay, Bray finally getting to do what he wanted to do, so I was just happy for him. I didn't care like if people felt like they was falling sacrifice to that booking, like Seth or anybody that felt like. I didn't think of it like that. I thought everybody wasn't like cool with it. Like, oh, y'all want Bray to finally get what he deserved. I didn't know that people were so against losing to him like that or him no selling moves. Because quite frankly, to me, a character like Bray, the Fiend, no selling moves is way different than a Tozawa no selling moves. It's different than your average jobber or average mid-card talent no selling moves. This is your fucking top tier Mick Foley, Undertaker, Mankind.
But
You put him in that tier.
that's the notion right there. It's like is the supernaturalness of a Mankind, of an Undertaker, of a Kane, of a Boogeyman. Even are we as a cultural society? Are we past that? Or again, or are too many focused on the spot fest that we see so often on the other show?
This is where it's fickle. This is where people on one hand want reality oh, why is it he could survive so many chair shots in it? But then when you got somebody like Brock Lesnar that won the heavyweight championship of the world, he run roughshod and y'all tired of that. Arguably, he's the baddest motherfucker on the WWE. Now you add Jacob Fatu, but if you talk about like hand-to-hand combat, Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley were him.
Certified.
Did it. Won.
One of them. UFC world champion for the heavyweights. Think about Brock Lesnar. Less than 5 professional fights. Undisputed UFC world champion.
For some of the greats. Frank Mir twice, Randy Couture.
Frank Mir, Cain Velasquez, Alistair Overeem. It's like
Shane Carwin that actually gave him a run in that match. He had Brock a little busted open in that match. And even Alistair beat him, like you said.
And then he actually in Strike Force, like earning his keep.
That's what I'm saying. So to me, the fans are fickle.
Heavyweight champion.
Fans are fickle. You want the reality of it. When the Undertaker was doing the Hell's Gate, oh yeah, everybody thought he was badass because he's MMA. But then when Brock Lesnar beat him, y'all mad.
Brock pulls out a Kimura.
But the motherfucker's a world champion in the UFC for real though. Like, no gimmick. Why wouldn't he come? Just like Ken Shamrock. I felt Ken Shamrock should have had more in his time.
Shamrock was ahead of his time. Him, Steve Blackman,
Dan Severn.
Well, Severn was shit.
He was one of those dudes bringing in championships from other places. Like,
but when Severn came in, he was shit 40 going on 50. On top of that, he was already in the twilight.
Yeah, way ahead of his time. Way.
And then fast forward a few years later, we get Chris Benoit, we get a Kurt Angle, you get a Lance Storm, you get a Jerry Lynn, Shane Douglas. Fast forward a few years later, you get Brock, you get Lashley. You have the Creed brothers. Back then you had Charlie Haas, Shelton Benjamin, Jack Swagger.
I felt like always I had this hot take, but I thought Kane was better than the Undertaker. Because
Kane was definitely more athletic.
Yeah, Kane always, and he in terms of power, he always drilled home a choke slam more, a tombstone. Like every move the Undertaker had, Kane just did it with more oomph behind it.
You ever watch that table of 3 or whatever with Big Show, Mark Henry, and Kane?
I believe so.
There was a line in there, and I'm going to quote the best I can. In Big Show, at his heaviest, swears to God, the strongest man he's ever been in the ring with, not named John Cena, was Kane.
Kane was fucking yoked.
Yeah, and again, pound for pound,
even when he was old, corporate Kane,
he'll get you up there.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, they want the realism, but then you also want to have
they want to pick and choose who gets that privilege and that luxury.
Yeah, like Obafemi, nobody got a problem with him being as dominant as he is right now, right?
No one has had a problem with Gunther in his reign.
You feel me? Like, but if it's the right person in the right circumstance, just like Gable. Oh, Gable should have beat Gunther.
It would have been nice.
But it's just the right person, right circumstance.
Or folks forget Karrion Kross. He's got a solid MMA background. Look at half the women's division in NXT. They're all former either gymnasts or MMA backgrounds. Chris Canyon, Scott DeParker, another dude, pound for pound, one of probably the more fluid guys that the industry's ever had.
Life take it too short.
Oh yeah, the man had some demons.
Facts.
But again, there's been a boatload of guys that, for their size, shouldn't be able to do remotely a tenth of the stuff that they were able to do, and here they were doing like nothing. You look at Ivar doing moonsaults, cartwheels better than most cruiserweights. You touched on Obafemi. Look, I can't imagine what Otis can do if they actually test his cardio.
And I love Bray Wyatt, but I felt like the overall, like, this is where I say the fans get behind somebody that's being held back. It was that time period where, you know, Bray was being held back. They didn't know what to do with him and Matt Hardy, Eater of Worlds. They didn't even really know what to do with Bray Wyatt after his first championship win, right? And it's been so many years. Then they let him go. The pandemic happened.
That was weird. But also, again, Brandon getting COVID a couple of times, developed some health problems. That again, he just had a bad deck of cards.
But my whole point is that when we seen other talent set like no sell moves, it was kind of done early on in Taker's run. You see where he was no selling almost everything, but after a while, he'll take abuse, and then at that moment, the sit up happened, right? Him and Kane to do the sit up.
Or with Bray, he'll sell a move, do that little crap stand thing or whatever.
Or even like right now, Jacob Fatu's no selling moves, but he's doing it well. Where like
he'll put it down for a second, pop up, shake it off.
And I'm pretty sure there's some people complaining just to nitpick, but to me, it looks the way he's executing it is done in my eyes how it should be done for it to come across well on TV. It's like, yeah, the fucking dude fell on his head, but then he shook, like you just say, he shook it off, and you don't even know. I'm ready. Like I built different.
Again, watch National Geographic. Watch when actual alpha animals are just attacking each other. They'll get their shit rocked. They'll be out for a quick second, shake it off like nothing. All right, we're going in for round 2 right now. There is an art to sell it, but again, it comes down to, like we touched on in episodes past, attention to detail. If you do the little like, things right, they won't worry about everything else.
To be honest, too, Bray, not to like come at him because he passed away, but it's like he was never the most. He had the if I could compare him, he was like a Mankind build, right? Like a Mick Foley. Like he wasn't built like a 7-foot Undertaker.
We still talking Bray?
Yeah. So I think even with Mick Foley, like when he took so much abuse, it wasn't like people but people never looked at it like, oh, you're our main event top guy. So we're like other guys like the Undertaker, and Undertaker would do his spot where he'll fly over the top rope. He got the old school walking the rope. Like he had spots for a big guy that were like, I think like Bray size, Mankind, the dudes that absorb a lot of damage and they can sink like,
but
they haven't really been.
But turn the clock back to like 2010, 2012 when he was Husky Harris. He was damn athletic for a guy that size.
I want to say even right when he broke out after that, he became Bray Wyatt, like the Swamp with the family. Mm-hmm. He was doing the spider and all of that, like quickly, and you know just what I'm saying?
Flying across the ring.
But then, as we see, time just flies, right? And now we almost 10 years in. Some of these guys have been around for 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Or shit, fuck. Drew McIntyre's damn near pushing 20 years.
Yeah, like time just flies. Like
just under the WWE umbrella. Sheamus just celebrated 15 years. But to Parker's question, like Brody Lee, that was Luke Harper's character, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so again, a very, very athletic big man. Folks forgot he could move with the best of them too. But again, just never got that opportunity. We saw glimpses of it with him or own as the Bludgeon Brothers, but aside from that, even AEW, we didn't get a chance to really see that. Even in that match with Cody, we just saw him be a big man. Lance Archer's another one in AEW. For as big as he is, that son of a bitch can fly.
You know what's sad too? I feel like everybody I think knows, but this is a tale of how like you can't take people, time, relationships, everything for granted because I think there was always that thought, oh yeah, the Wyatt family could get back down the road, and then everything just starts happening. You know what I'm saying? Do I consider Brock? Yeah, because he could move, bro. Like that's what I'm saying. We was
Brock,
just talking about. Yeah,
again, that hit guys like him, Braun Breaker, Scott Steiner, those are the prototypical genetic freaks.
he
Guys
had
that big.
heavyweight fighters shook.
What are the guy that size? Now, mind you, Brock's only like six, maybe 6'2", 6'3". He's not like not incredibly tall like other guys, but at near 300 pounds, what? How many guys that size could do a shooting star press 3/4 across the ring? Or look at Scott Steiner and Braun Breaker hit that Frankensteiner like they're just climbing a couple steps on a porch. Some folks just have that natural athletic ability.
Yeah, Brock was a beast, bro. Like even like his first step when he was like taking his first step in the UFC, that shit was always like, bro, it felt like he was leaping. Like he'll take a first step, and it was just so effortless of a leap. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then that should have transitioned to him trying to go for the takedown. Maybe throw a punch hand in, then go for the takedown. But like that was his game right there.
Just swarm you.
Yeah.
And I remember even Rogan talking about with Brock. What makes him so special is, some folks when they swing, they got a cocked arm bat to get the most power out of it. He can go back to make a couple inches and just still get the most power out of them punches. Like you don't see that anybody.
Now even Cesaro when he was in the WWE, I think that's why they used to call him the pound for pound. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because not only could he lift those weights, but yeah.
The Swiss Superman.
Cesaro was able to up there to work out with them and move with them in the ring. Like to me, Cena can't. I don't want to say Cena can't really move, but he one of those dudes that when I look at somebody body physique, even Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar got some skinny legs, but he's still explosive though. Like somehow, like
well again, that's that Russell. Cesaro has like a soccer background. Brock has a wrestling background. Kurt Angle, wrestling background. Chad Gable, wrestling background. Benoit, a wrestling background.
Where they got them heavy ass thighs, but the calves might be a little. You know what I mean?
It's just that hip explosion.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not sure about earlier about Parker. It's like even with Jericho back in the day. Again, not a small guy. Pound for pound, could move with the best of them. Got to the gym a little bit, put some size on. He lifting most guys up, whatever. But still, it's just that short action, hip acceleration, that explosion. In most sports, football, regular, they call it that first step power.
That should be different right there.
Like I say, and I know I use Braun as an example, but it's like, look how much ground he covers in just like 3 steps. He just glides across that whole ramp. Or just going from rope to rope. Does he even take like 5 steps?
I mean, shit, it be looking like.
Let's look at it as a hop, skip, and a jump.
Yeah. But yeah, we had Sheamus and Bronson Reed tonight. I really didn't care for this match because I felt like I knew what it was going to lead to.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it took a little long too. Like they did put on a little showing, but ultimately, also they had that with again camera work, right? This is where we saw about camera. That spot where Bronson Reed ankle got caught up on the bottom rope, it didn't look convincing.
Yeah.
I don't know what that was about. Like maybe they could have got away with that without showing us on live television. Like, you know, everybody in attendance not going to be able to see that angle. Only the people that's sitting right there in the front row. Like,
And also, with that match, especially with the timeline, it's like maybe they started getting gassed or whatever because they started out kind of hot. Yeah, Sheamus has the cardio for it, but Bronson maybe not so much. But again, it's just one of those things. But with that story, I'm more intrigued into what the long term plan for Pete Dunne is.
I think
Nothing
they
against
need to let
Sheamus,
him go
nothing
over
against
on
Bronson.
Sheamus.
But again, he's also he wants a shot at freaking NXT. So it's like pick something
That's
for
where
him,
they,
stick with
yeah,
that.
that's where they doing too much with him.
Same with Meechin. It's like just we get it. You're keeping them active, cool. But leave them leave them somewhere, please. Just let them grow there. I get it. They're there to show everyone the ropes, whatever how it's done. But again, that's what you have other folks for. That's what you have the Good Brothers for. That's what you have Shinsuke for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really didn't care for this match too much. And then we got into the Jey Uso and Carlito match. I'm not really liking how they using Carlito either. They did their best to like have a good little quick match, I feel like, because it wasn't bad. But this is not what I envisioned when they signed Carlito back to get back on his run.
Now, let me ask you this: like with Carlito, like what's it gonna take for him to gather some kind of steam? Like, do you got to bring his family back over, or
You know what would be impactful? If he brings
what?
fellow Puerto Rican Mike Santana over, a young fresh talent.
The illest.
Because it'll make sense. Like, all right, like you could do a LAX angle where like he's paired with another Spanish person from a different coach, but like if you want to keep it
But
within the same
so,
culture, that's the closest thing.
with that, I kind of feel like Priest would be better suited for that because they got the New York connection too.
Yep. The only thing is, I feel at this point, Priest already superseded that. Like he wouldn't even need a Carlito by his side. Like, he already
But
passed that.
with Carlito, you have his the brothers or his cousins that formerly WWE, but does would bringing them back help or anything? Or
Yeah,
maybe a Chris
because
Masters because they were close. Something, anything.
yeah, anything to make Carlito look like a veteran in the game that has learned a lot and picked up a lot of, not some veteran that's coming around trying to be like a fucking, like
Because say you
holding
bring
your,
like say you bring a Chris Masters back. That's another veteran to help out the kids, but also with them two, that's another pairing for your struggling tag team division.
he'll step away from trying to hold their golf clubs instead of running his own thing. Like he should have Los Boricuas. Remember how fucking Savio Vega had Los Boricuas?
Yeah,
I mean, Carlito should have like,
and that's my next question. Like, does WWE need another faction?
no, at this point, no, because they just made factions out the ass. But again, as that veteran, if you want to put on younger talent or just have him on his own run. I don't like the idea of him being paired and he's like the lesser option. Cause like the reason y'all bought him in is because he could still go at that moment when y'all seen what he was doing on the indies. Like, so I want to see more of that. Not like these oh well, it's just a weird, like it's putting over people in two different ways. It's like a squash cheap way, and then it's like a real competitive. We had a great match and a good story behind it. I haven't seen the latter part of that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He'll put a few people over while he was in LWO. He took a few losses there, took a few wins, and the same with Judgment Day. But it's like, well,
And then he essentially quits LW and still in matches with them for the next month before he crossed over to Judgment Day.
yeah, like felt like they didn't know what to do with Carlito, to be honest. I think the best inclusion of Carlito was the Backlash in Puerto Rico. You got Savio Vega, you got Bad Bunny, you got basically all the Spanish people coming together. But that's only one event, right? Like, now what?
And also, you changed his fucking song. Give him the song back.
Yeah. I never understood that part right there. That part always got to me. So for like that Jay Uso match, like, you know, Jay picked up the victory. The little funny moment y'all was speaking about earlier, Carlito spitting out the apple after he bit into it, and then Jay speared him.
Mm.
But that, to me, that was like the best part of the match, I guess. Like,
That was the only part that was palatable. I wouldn't say the best part.
yeah, like, you know, like that was
It
whatever.
was,
The
yeah.
replay value, the shit they gonna show on the highlights.
You might get a gif out of that.
Later on in the night, we get Karrion Cross versus Xavier Woods. I thought Xavier Woods looked good in this match, to be honest.
He looked fine in the match last week too, but again, it's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, again, if there was meant to be a turn, this should have happened a long time ago. But my question is, with Kofi being hurt again, supposedly, what are we even doing?
I have no idea.
Because I mean, again, nothing against New Day, because again, I love the New Day, but it's like, can we say that it's run its course?
Oh
Because again,
yeah.
they've never really recovered without E.
I mean, I feel like they broke up the Usos, but they broke it up with substance. They turned the Usos into the bloodline, but kept them the Usos, and then they split.
Yeah.
This New Day shit, they really ain't evolved since they got put in the back of the line, in my opinion.
Yep. Ever since
Like,
that last match between the Usos and New Day, which gave us the Usos legendary, or the title reign that passed the New Day.
yeah, that kind of, to
They've
me,
done
that stood
nothing.
out the argument for me.
And again, I don't want to say that again. It's time to put them behind the passion, but it's like, what else is there?
Cause then what you did after that, you made both these niggas champions, and both they champions, they reigns were
What's
like,
the Brock? Oh no, did he lose to Brock too, or just Kofi?
no, I think he lost to Brock too. Cause Big E beat Bobby Lashley.
That's right.
And that shit had me tight.
That was his cash in.
Cause I felt like that was the that was the sucker route too that I was tight about at that time. Like, while my man Bobby Lashley's actually earning his shit over here, niggas got a chance to cash in on Roman Reigns. Obviously, we know they're not gonna let them, but that's the cheap way out. Like, oh, you gotta cash in on my man over here, or you gotta fuck with my man shit because Roman on his time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mhm.
so it just never sit right with me anyway. With Big E won, I was just like,
Even when Kofi won, it felt forced because you tried to recreate the Yes movement with Kofi Mania, and then once you got there, it's like,
yeah.
okay, what
And,
are you gonna
and
do after that?
in a year where you was plagued by injuries, bad roster movement, bad decision making, You got
you
crowd
bring
pop.
back the draft, and then you have that was a SmackDown with the Fox, huh? When Kofi
Yep.
was champion, you have him lose in less than a piss break to Brock to kick off SmackDown.
Yeah, I think that was the debut episode, the season open or
Hmm.
whatever they call it.
The season,
Yep.
the season rear, something like
It's a
that.
premiere. Yep.
And it's not Brock's fault. It's just like again, like
Even Karen
if
Cross
you, if
has
you,
referenced that this week, right? Oh,
yeah,
Kofi lost the belt in 6 minutes.
yeah. But yeah, sure. But
6
also again,
seconds.
it's like if you're put in that position, and yes, New Day they're selling shit, but is Kofi Kingston the brand selling stuff? Not really, because
Nah,
again,
but once
aside from
Cody
Jamaican me crazy, what have you done with Kofi?
once Cody came in and they announced he was, and then you got the blood. There was a time where the New Day was #1 merchant. I think once you got the
No,
bloodline,
but I'm talking about Kofi's title reign at the time. It's like yes, New Day is bringing in the merch stuff, but as far as
mhm,
Kofi as a brand itself, aside from him being Jamaican, you haven't done nothing with him since then. As far as him being his own brand, it's
that's
always
why
been New
again
Day.
we always say that Chase be phenomenal because not so many superstars that can hold the belt and make a compelling case like, oh yeah, we running through everybody. Like once he got the belt, it's kind like you said, it's floor. It's just like, oh yeah, we know they're gonna make you beat this guy because in reality, he should run through you.
Hmm. Like I
Like,
mean, hate to say it, but there's a reason why you didn't quote unquote finish the story back in 2009. Because again, Vince at the time probably saw where things were going, and it's like, what is Kofi Kingston without the New Day?
and people weren't
And,
even mad that Brock beat Kofi. It was just didn't matter the time
oh,
he beat him.
oh no! Folks were pissed that Brock beat him because that was a time when folks had one-off championships, and then within a few months, you hear the "Here Comes the Pain" song, and then everyone already knew, yeah, Brock's about to win right now. At
No,
least
I'm
on my
saying in the
circle, folks
aspect
said,
in the aspect of that, yeah, people would say, but I'm talking about in the realism, like there was no way Kofi should have beat Brock. Like I didn't hear people saying, "Oh, Kofi should have really beat Brock."
no.
Like you saying, "Oh yeah," people was tired of seeing Brock being inserted.
Oh,
Like,
okay, so
like
for sake of
they
argument,
knew.
say it wasn't Brock. Could you see a world legitimately in which Kofi Kingston beats John Cena, where he beats Seth Rollins, who was wild hot at the time?
Yeah, you
Hell,
know why I'm gonna say yeah?
how?
Because John Cena, he putting people over, but Brock took him to Suplex City. So to
But
me, it's
again,
like they two different heavyweights. Like if you asking me if Stone Cold would have did the job, no. John Cena, yeah. The Rock, no. Cena,
okay,
yeah.
Rock was there a couple years before Kofi made it, and they put the belt on him. Could you see Kofi beat him? No.
No, that's what I'm
A couple
saying.
years ago, but
Nope.
Batista was back. Had they put the belt on him WrestleMania 30? Could you see Kofi beat Batista? No.
That's why I was
Had it
surprised
had,
when
had
Danny
it
Bryan
not
did it.
had it not been for the sword from 2009, could you see Kofi Kingston beat Randy Orton? I say no.
Nope. Again, Danny Bryan is nice, but I felt like they force fed him that shit too. Like making him beat Randy Orton and Batista though.
Because of the fans.
Like that was OD. Like both of them. Like you the legend killer and the animal
In one night in Louisiana, in
and
New
beat your
Orleans, you beat half. You essentially beat Evolution by yourself because Triple H had some shit involved in the match too.
yeah, he had to beat Triple H to get to that match.
So like I said, you basically beat Evolution in one WrestleMania, and that's supposed and that we compare that to Jericho beating Rock and Austin the same night.
Mm.
We're spoiled as fans.
For real. It's the entitlement era. I always say that shit. Karen Cross picked up the victory in that match with Xavier Woods. We got Sami Zayn and Dominic later
I
on.
did I did like that little fire out of Sami Zayn a little bit, but again, it's like he's never been this cocky. Like
Right. So, yeah.
Braun is
I
gonna
mean,
fuck him up this weekend.
yeah, it's unfortunate for Sami because I think the last 2 years been the hottest I've seen him. Maybe last 3 years, whatever. But this is
Yeah,
the
because
hottest I've seen him.
if you think about it, yeah, Sammy and KO ended the Usos' historic run. Next WrestleMania, Sammy beats Gunther. Oh
Yeah, that's
no!
this.
Who's yeah
Yeah.
yeah? Because 39 that was Sammy KO versus Usos on
Yep.
in LA. Yep.
Yep.
And like I said, then this past WrestleMania, he beats Gunther. So
Had a
he's had his share of runs.
Yeah, and just when he's up though, there's other people that's up too. That is their time. Like unfortunately, he got his stride when he's at the back end, and there's other people coming up.
And like I said, just look at folks that we can see in that IC division. You have Sheamus, Bronson Reed, Pete Dunne, Braun Breaker, Ilya Dragunov, Ludwig Kaiser, potentially a Ricochet. So again, like there's a lot of folks that in the days of old where they used to pass the belt or whatever, this is the perfect time to do so because you have so many guys that are not credible, that have been presented as credible. But yeah, and like I said, Sammy's at a point to where there is a percentage of guys on the roster, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, even NXT to a degree, to where their popularity is so high they don't honestly need a title because they're just as fine without it. Now, if they want to contest for it's another thing, but it's like you said, you're there to elevate others. But again, this match was what it was.
Yeah, what I'm saying, I didn't really think it was designed to make Sammy look too strong because like he was going against Dom. But what I took out of it was Dom for me in the future. He looks good in the ring with an Intercontinental Champion. Like
He's got so much better these last few years. Like
mhm.
it is. I know we could probably air this on his family genetics and all that and his pedigree, but that man's getting good. And even Cody said it. I forget which podcast recently. Dom is a future world champion. I can see that.
I can see that too.
I didn't see that a couple years ago, but like now again, even
In
putting
the
the work in.
sleaziest of ways too.
Again, even as a baby face, I can see it down the road.
Mm.
It's going to take a minute to get there, but he's going to be one of those guys to where, much like a Charlotte Flair, like I can see him developing a niche to where he can be a okay baby face, a damn good heel, just go back and forth and need to be depending on the circumstance. But we've only scratched the surface with him. And like I said, the future of WWE is bright.
We had the sixth match of the night, which I don't really care to talk too much about, but it was Lyra Valkyrie, Katana Chance, Kaden Carter versus Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark.
Only thing I cared about is the presentation of what they're doing with Zoe Stark, Shayna Baszler, and Sonya Deville.
I think what I cared about the most is Damage Control coming out the whoop Sonya
That too.
Deville and them. Yeah. And the
So like I said,
prospect of Oscar coming back. Me and Snakes was talking about that. That could be somebody that can give them a run in that group as well.
have we gotten Oscar versus Shayna yet? Either
I want to
NXT or
say
the main
yes.
roster?
I want to say
Oh,
yes, But I feel like it held no significance.
Yeah, because again, Shayna's still in the game, but just Shayna now, or even Zoe, like those, any one of them versus Asuka, that could be something. And I'm very intrigued to see this new level of confidence in Kyrie Sane as well. But also, speaking of images that have surfaced the internet, did you happen to notice anything behind Dakota Kai when they were talking to Damage Control? And Dakota Kai was making her call out.
Nah.
There was a certain logo behind her left shoulder.
Mm.
I don't know if they're a possible target. I just found it very fascinating because
Okay.
remember, Dakota Kai booted out Bailey. Bailey brought her into Damage Control because they're all friends.
Yeah.
The Wyatt Six are targeting very specific people for very specific reasons. I'm maybe not reading too much of this stuff, but this is something that we might need to keep an eye on in weeks to come.
Nah, I could see that right there. You definitely gotta watch for that right there. I ain't even peeped that. But for the final main event of the night, we had Gunther versus Finn Balor right there. I thought this was a good match. I thought it was gonna be like,
I knew it was going to be good. I did not expect that finish at all.
yeah, he choked him out.
Uh, put his ass to sleep. And then when he comes to, puts him to sleep again.
You see, that's what I like about Gunther's finishes though. That when it's somebody he gotta put out, that's when he brings out the sleeper. Like, man, I ain't playing no more games. Like, I done let you in the match for too long. Like, I'm gonna just put you out with the sleep. Then there's other people he finished with the power bomb. You know, where it's just like it's light work.
It comes down to I can either put you down like a warrior, or I'm gonna put you down like the animal you are. In this case, he treated Finn Balor like a pest of the judgment. So again, that's probably what deemed the sleeper. It's like, all right, I'm gonna make an example out of you. I'm gonna do this to your boy this weekend, and I will be the king and world heavyweight champion.
If he puts Damian Priest in the sleeper, I see Damian Priest escaping with a 1-2-3, the classic roll up. You know,
I don't even think we get a
but
if he does. I don't even think we get a tap. It looks like he'll reach for the rope, and then he'll pass out as his finger just grazes the rope,
mm,
and then Priest will come back saying, "I didn't tap out. My body just gave out on me. You can't pin me."
mm.
But again, I'm definitely like I said, I still stand by this. That match is going to be the sleeper match of the pay per view or PLE.
Yeah, I don't think Gunther's gonna walk out of SummerSlam as the champion, but I do think it's gonna be a banger. I feel like I could say that.
What?
Yeah,
What?
Gunther. Yeah, Gunther's not walking out as champion, but
Interesting.
I do say, yeah, I do say it's gonna be a banger. I feel like they put in too much.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like they've definitely put in a lot of stock into Gunther, but they slowed him down after the King in the Ring. I feel like there's been a lot on the Judgment Day.
Well, if you think about it, like Gunther is coming off a 600 plus day reign as the IC champion. You then have him in a just dominant King of the Ring performance. It's like, what more else is there to elevate him? Like,
That's what I'm
there's nothing else
saying.
you could do. Like, so I think this did what it needed to do to get Priest up to that level, or pretty damn close. And like I said, that match is going to surprise a lot of people.
And I think
But
that's what this Damian Priest run been full of a bunch of surprises. Like I feel like some people had him losing to Drew. Some people like us seen some funny business. There was another universe where people seen him losing to Seth. And I think this is gonna be another instance where people see him
He's
losing
only
to Gunther.
he's only stepped up. But I said this is gonna be a big test for him to see again whether he loses or not. This is gonna be a test to whether they see something possibly long term in him. Because again, he can be the guy, and like I said, this run with the belt, he's got this newfound confidence that I didn't even see him having a Ring of Honor. So I'm very excited to see how
And I'm
things
not
pan out this
sure.
weekend.
I'm not sure how old Gunther is, but I'm just putting things in terms of like, all right, like there's some superstars like we can't take everybody for granted, but you got niggas like Braun Breaker that's like what in their early 20s, 30s, whatever. But Priest is up there, right? Like he just turned 40, right? Along with like the
Priest will
LA
be
Knight,
Priest will be 42 this year,
42. So I think
and
like they want to maximize what they got out of him now rather than treating him like, oh yeah, we can, in a
oh
few
fuck,
years we can go back to this. I think now it's his time.
Gunter turns 37 this year.
37. See, so if Damian Priest is just getting the belt on his 41st year, Gunther could wait another year. Not
Yeah,
even a whole
and
year, to be honest. Not even a whole fucking year. It'd be a matter of, but I don't think it got to be SummerSlam.
I said I'm excited. I'm generally excited to see like what their plans for that. Like, even honestly, if you do something like Randy or Christian where they're trading that belt off, I wouldn't be mad at it because you have two guys that are legitimately duking it out for the top prize and they're credible.
I think the shit that sound more believable is if they rematch at Bash at Berlin for whatever reason, and then Gunther
I
get it
I
there.
I can see that too.
hmm Cause then it's really like,
Honestly, I would much rather see that for this reason only. Is because I'm a petty son of a bitch.
yeah,
If
he
Gunter's
gonna really live it up to
if
that
if,
shit.
if, if Gunter's crowned at Berlin, the first thing we're gonna see on the internet is why don't you do that for Drew in Scotland? That's the sole reason why I want to see that happen. That's gonna be funny if that happens too.
Yeah, cause by that time now you could really say like, damn, Damian Priest been through some wear and tear, and this is the first competitor that faced him back to back. Like Drew ain't really get a clean lick back after CM Punk interfered, nor did Seth. So if Gunther got the direct run back right after, then you could make an argument like, nah, I mean like, bro, I already got your number, bro. Like, and I'm on home turf. It's about to go
And also,
down.
to your argument earlier, it's like say Gunter gets that sleeper in, Priest does some little funky roll up, pins him while he's being choked out.
Then it'll be
I would love to
reversed.
see I would love to see that pissed off Oscar run over Monday Night Raw.
Yeah,
You
like you
thought
ain't
you
really.
thought Braun
Yeah,
was an animal?
like, nah, you escaped. You escaped. Like with your skin intact. Like I had you.
You
Like
survived.
yeah, like
Not many survived that and lived to tell the tale.
hmm And I feel like Gunther's at a point in his WWE career where he's on the main roster. So like I think it don't matter if he lose. Like that protecting him. Like only three, four, five people beat him. I mean like I don't know. I feel split about that because I can't say that, and then niggas like Goldberg come back with that same vibe. So
That
it's like,
that's exactly where I was going to lead to. Because again, if you haven't won decidingly whatever, then you are treading that Goldberg Oscar territory. It's like no, there's enough folks in that division to where, in the right circumstance, Gunther could need a loss here and there. Which again, back to NXT UK. Personally, I'm surprised Pete Dunne didn't beat him. I'm surprised Joe Coffey didn't beat him.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, and then that's what I'm saying. Like his real first, I think his real first big look was Randy Orton. That was like, okay, you know, he probably done beat a Rey Mysterio, but this is like toe to toe. Randy Orton coming back off that,
Off a
looking
broken back.
yeah, looking jacked as
Came
fuck.
back 300 pounds of just straight killer.
So I think that was probably like his best main roster victory right there. Along with the Sheamus and Drew shit, but I felt like the Drew and Sheamus shit when he was doing the triple
She-
threat with them, they were more worried
Sheamus and
about each
Drew,
other.
but also Sheamus and Drew, like they definitely broke Gunther in as far as all right, welcome to the big leagues. Essentially, we gonna get you ready, and then fast forward to this year, you got Randy, the 14-time world's champion, third generation, future Hall of Famer. The man has done it all in that business. Probably one of the safest hands you could probably have in that locker room. With the exception of the finish, you have a classic. So again, like sky's the limit for Gunther.
That they could always still go back to, and Randy could be like, "Well, yo, you never really beat me, right?" Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, Randy get petty too. Like, yo, you never really beat me. I still want my, like, you know what I'm saying?
And he's the type of guy. He's gonna tell you he's gonna sneak you. He's gonna tell you when he's gonna sneak you. And when he gets you that time, he'll be like, "Hey, I told you I was gonna do it. It's your fault you didn't believe me."
And then I'm gonna be real. It's not a win, but niggas like Cody Rhodes stand toe to toe with fucking Gunther in that Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
The niggas just don't talk about that shit.
And also, we're forgetting the elephant in the room. Gunther has been begging for the fade with Brock Lesnar. He wants to see where he stands against the top of the food chain. He wants to smoke. He wants to prove that, yeah, I can do this and this, but I want to shot the king. I want to go to Suplex City. Not many folks have that mentality. Nobody wants to go to Suplex City. That's why back in the day, Challenger came in the fucking Inferno match. Look where that
Right.
got MVP. Look where that got Undertaker.
Now I think Gunther's definitely suited. He's the right man suited for that job to want to take on Brock.
And just in a couple years potentially, we're gonna get Gunther versus Obafemi. That matchup is coming quicker
Yeah,
than Mahan.
I don't know. It's just for some reason in my mind, I just feel like I think we're past that keeping Gunther protected. I could be wrong, but I feel
Is there
like
a purpose to protect him?
nah, like you said, we know his dominance. Like unless he's about to go on a Roman Reigns 4 year, like I don't understand. Like like
Yeah. Mm. The Roman situation that was special, and again, like I don't expect anybody to just be given that opportunity. And not saying Gunther would be given it, but it would definitely create the perception. It's like, all right, we're gonna go through this again, and we're gonna just sacrifice the majority of the roster just because it's Gunther. It's like, no, there's plenty of dogs that bite just as hard as him now. That bark just
right.
as loud too.
What you just said is exactly how I would feel about it. Like, all right, so we just
And
running
then
it up.
another example that folks, in my opinion, are probably sleeping on: Gunther versus Braun Strowman. Imagine that. Maybe in a couple years, or even later this year, potentially. A Gunther versus a Wardlow. A Gunther versus a Powerhouse
And
Hobbs.
that's another
A
thing, right?
Gunther versus Samoa Joe. Let
See,
that one marinate for a little bit.
that's another thing. Protected, right? We've
Mhm.
seen a Logan Paul challenge the heavyweight champion while he's the United States champion. I say that to say if Gunther challenges, he was on SmackDown too, right? As an Intercontinental champion, because that belt was on SmackDown.
Yes, yes.
He they could have been a situation, and he would have lost to Roman. I stand on that. So he would have been had another loss under his belt, in my opinion. If you put the bloodline against the Imperium,
Folks wanted it too.
yeah, we wanted that. We wanted the bloodline versus Judgment Day when that was the height of the factions coming up. Hell yeah.
And I think we can still get there, but again, like I said, I think the mission was always the ones versus Judgment Day. Now, but again, now, like I said, we can so far get there down the road, but maybe not. And if we don't, it's a missed opportunity. But uh, yeah, there's a lot, so many things that we can go about. But on the topic of missed opportunities, is that more fault on Triple H quote unquote dropping the ball, or it's just him focused on his idea, bigger fish in the sea?
I think it's the bigger fish in the sea. When there's
Because
like priority,
one example that I've noticed that was all over the internet this weekend was the missed opportunity of Gable versus Otis. Now we could still be getting that soon, but I think a lot of folks were hoping that this would have been a SummerSlam thing, maybe even Money in the Bank.
the way he just nonchalantly just smacked Gable off today, it felt like that was their storyline,
Yeah,
like a nonchalant knockoff. Like again, with them specifically, they could have went so many different ways. Gable could have took the belt off of right. Like look, paint the picture. We could have took Gable could have took the belt off Sami Zayn or even off Gunther, and you would still have this storyline where he's treating Otis bad. Otis gets his comeuppance off Gable.
Otis could have beat Sammy a couple weeks ago. Just putting it out there.
But because they want to push Braun Breaker, which realistically, to me, one could argue Braun Breaker could have been good with the Intercontinental or the USA belt. Him and Logan Paul would have been money too.
A part of me feels Otis and Braun could be money.
Mm.
That's one of those. I don't think folks are giving that match very much credit because remember Otis, powerlifter, wrestler, athlete. Braun, athlete. Don't sleep on that matchup. It may look sloppy on paper because of the size differences, but again, folks forget Otis can move.
So that's why I feel like things in question be like, should we care about these, with no disrespect, these lower tier storylines when we invest into them and then they amount to just a sidebar for something else? What's your word for it? The cannon fodder
Yeah,
for something else?
and again, not to beat a dead horse, but yes, it is situational. But again, like I've touched on, say with Code Drink per se, like say we go through X, Y, and Z. All right, then what? We're back in the same problem we're in now.
I mean, I honestly felt like that with the Y6. Once they done with the Creeds and Alpha and Gable, what happens with them? Like, what it looked like Gable's not even intimidated no more. I think like after the community made so much noise after Gable took that wound to the head, it was like, nah, we got to make him like kind of like stand up and fight against this.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no character change between Gable. We don't see nothing meaner, no growing of the hair, no nut. He's just the same old Gable.
Now I know who Uncle Howdy is. Bitch, we all know who it is. He was just in Adam Pearson's office 2 minutes ago.
And even
And you
that,
have
I told
and you have Adam Pierce telling the same thing. Like we all know who it is.
I didn't like that moment unless it leads to something.
And again, back to what we talked about earlier, it's like at what point is a slow burn too long?
They just figuring it out. But with situations like this, you got to be very delicate, very sensitive. You can't mishandle this situation. That's why it's so
Hmm.
scrutinized. Other situations we could look past, like Katana Chance and them being out there every week for no reason and all that. Like one could argue we
That's
don't
your
really care what that
that's
storyline going.
what you mean? That's your favorite women's trio.
You feel me? Like that's the honorary piss break right there. Like you like to say.
Oh, with all just I felt that was the Sheamus and Bronson Reed match.
Dave match was lackluster too. Again, another one that I felt like dragged on for too long. Like how many pump fakes we seen where them two their entrances hit, and for 2 weeks we didn't really see them square, and then this week we don't even give a fuck. What was the
So,
reason y'all even fighting again? Like
well, if memory serves, uh, initially Sheamus wanted to defend the honor of his brawling brute buddy Pete Dunne, but Pete Dunne told him where he can stick that defending the honor.
now you still got to fight Bronson anyway, and you
Hmm.
fighting with Pete Dunne.
And Pete Dunne gonna snake you. But also last week on I think it was Raw Talk, Sheamus did challenge Pete Dunne to say, "Let's find out who the real bruiserweight is."
And I'm be honest, Pete Dunne tonight gave me shades of Butch, hiding by the ring like that. He gave me Butch vibes.
So, which means this that we know what one of the pre-show matches would be. They're going to be on for 3 hours.
Man,
I hope it's not a pre-show match, but
it should be because I don't want to see it on the main card. Like
you will want to see that in Berlin,
in Berlin,
depending on because that'll probably be more of a Raw dominant card potentially, since Money in the Bank was predominantly SmackDown.
nah.
You just want to just get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel it. Or shit, put it on NXT for all I care at this point.
I mean, because the reality of it is for me is like they're just fighting off old shit that was on SmackDown. Y'all on Raw now. Like it's a different
Mhm.
landscape. That's one. Two. Then they got Pete Dunne in the mix on NXT. That's where they killed it for me.
Yep.
They just inserted him out of nowhere. So it's like, huh?
So what? To tie us all together, what's going to happen? Rich Holland going to sneak Pete Dunne or what?
That'd be
or,
the only logical thing, bro.
or if the move was for all that, why isn't Rich Holland with Pete Dunne, Snake and Sheamus? That made more sense than anything. But again, maybe we're taking the baby steps to get there. But it's like this is going on what almost a month, give or take,
Yep.
and it's just the same carousel. Just whoop.
Yeah. I thought tonight's episode of Raw was fire though. Other than that, you said it was a 9 for you?
No. The opening segment.
Oh, that was opening segment. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
How was the overall show for you?
Again, much like SmackDown, give like a an average B because again they just coasted through most everything. between that and the everyone just cares about the stuff from the main segment, the Judgment Day stuff with the love triangle, and maybe they're starting to join up from YS6. We'll find out next week. Maybe Minnesota was just a dead crowd. But also, real quick, we kind of just blew past one thing. There was
What's that?
another bridge that had been burned by Vince that Triple H had rebuilt by hand.
Jesse Ventura.
The return of the governor, Jesse the Body Ventura, back in WWE.
Yeah, that was fire. They showed that on camera too. That was
And
definitely
he
fire.
even and Jesse even tweeted, "Someone tell CM Punk hell froze over again."
Mm.
A guy that again, like past bridges that Vince burned, this is a guy we thought would never set foot in a WWE event again. Yet here he is.
On Raw television, behind the scenes camera work.
Even gave him credit as one of the greatest color commentators of all time, and that is a God proven fact.
Jesse the Body.
Now, if we can have him and Karrion Cross do a little their rendition of the Jay the Ric Flair Woo thing, that might sell some tickets because Cross is a damn good Jesse the Body Ventura.
Man,
But as we wind down, I want to ask you a quick question. So, what's your honest opinion on? Well, one, we have a women's tag match tomorrow, but also we're probably getting one on Friday as well as the men's tag team match. Not on the pay per view. They're on NXT and SmackDown. How do you feel about that?
the women's one is on SmackDown or NXT?
Well, uh, the Unholy Union has a match against Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend, and the winner of that is going to face Jade and Bianca possibly at SmackDown, more than likely at SmackDown.
Mm. This a way to
And
bring them
then,
girls up.
oh, who knows? But but should we be mad that the tag titles will not be defended at SummerSlam?
Nah, there's too much going on at SummerSlam. Yeah.
Because, like I said, the men's tag team match is also going to be defended on or be contested on SmackDown tomorrow or on this Friday.
Yeah, there's too much going on SummerSlam.
You don't want nothing to get lost in the shuffle.
It's not. It's that, but I didn't even think they would keep Jacob Fatu's tag team possible his first title on the SmackDown. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, that's the interesting one too. I mean, could we see a thing to where it's similar to Freebird rules in which Solo will tell all this Jacob's or Tongalo's eye is better, therefore he's in the match? Could we see something like that maybe?
I see more the Freebird rule where, like you said, they went and then when he finally heals up, nah, he's like I was just fighting for him, but he's back, so they tag teams.
Yeah. I mean, it's obvious they're gonna win this Friday, in my opinion. I don't see DIY winning that match at all. I'd be surprised if I get it. It's Gargano's hometown, like Miz, but yeah, I find it very hard to believe that they're gonna retain
So
with or without shenanigans. Like the way they presented Jacob, that's too much alone. You have the unpredictability of a Tamatonga who has been as as expected in my opinion since he's come from New Japan. And again, you have Solo doing the best of his career. I'm not sure if you noticed this morning they announced that so they put out the official hashtag for SummerSlam. You know whose face they gave the emoji to?
no,
Solo.
mm,
You put in the SummerSlam hashtag on Twitter, Solo's face is right there.
that's fine.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's definitely fine.
Yeah, so we get possibly two tag team matches this Friday on SmackDown. We'll probably get another. I'm interested to see what they do next with the Cody solo story. I honestly don't want to see KO or Randy show up Friday or even Saturday at that for that matter. So I'm intrigued to see what they do.
Nah, I can't wait. That shit gonna be, especially in that arena or stadium, I should say. That shit gonna be fire.
Now I think SmackDown might be where the Cavs play. I could be wrong. I don't think Friday's gonna be in the stadium too.
Nah, nah. Yeah, you might be right. It's gonna be with the Cavs play, I think. But yeah, we got one more. Well, technically the NXT and then the SmackDown till SummerSlam. But
Yep.
we gearing up. We right there.
We getting the Joe Hendry concert tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's
Any
gonna
last any last thoughts before we get up out of here?
buckle up, kids.
Yeah, it's gonna definitely be a ride, man. My brother Snake Eyes, Razor, HD. Unwelcome your thoughts off the hip. Yes, sir.